Two in a row for the Toronto Blue Jays as they just wiped the floor with the Chicago White Sox on this long weekend. It's great to see. We saw some positive signs out of the offense, a decent start out of Jose Barrios. And if there was any time for them to go on a run and start winning games in succession, it starts now against the White Sox, who they've won 8 in a row against. So I'll break that down and much more in this episode of Jays Digest. What's up, Jays fans? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Happy Victoria Day to all of you Canadians out there. The Jays provided us with a delightful treat on this long weekend. They started off a 3-game set against the Chicago White Sox with a 9-3 skunking of them, and it was just a great all-around performance. We saw great offensive output out of Danny Jansen with 5 RBIs, saw Bichette with his first 4-hit game of the season, and Vladdy continuing to have good at-bats. Just a solid game all around. Varsho chipped in with a 2-run home run, and everyone was just good today. I'd even go as far to say as they were very good. And Jose Barrios, not his best outing, not his best stuff today, but he still gutted out 6+ innings for this Jays team. So it was great to see. It was great on a long weekend, but Nick, it doesn't stop here. They got to keep picking up wins in succession. This is 8 wins in a row now against the White Sox. You know what I want to see? I want to see the first sweep of the season, and that starts with another W tomorrow.
Yeah, like you said in the intro, this is the time for them to pick it up. They're only 3.5 games back of a wild card spot, which, given all the doom and gloom, that's not too bad. Before we get into it, a quick reminder, hit the subscribe button if you're a part of the 70 or so percent who aren't subscribed. We make daily Jays videos, and we're on the road to 13,000 subs. So, Peter, let's just get right into it. And you mentioned it's the White Sox, but the guy, Fedde, who they had going up against the Blue Jays today, the pitcher coming from Korea this year, has been off to an unbelievable start for the White Sox. He's been rolling through teams. I think he had a 14-inning streak without giving up an earned run. And then the Jays offense comes in and absolutely, curb stomps the opposing team. We're going to use that again. I used it last time. They got a bunch of hits. Now, Peter, 5 RBIs for Danny Jansen. This is the first game that Danny Jansen has hit in the 2 spot in, I think, in his career, at least in a very, very long time. You have Vladdy continuing his hot streak. You have Bichette, who went 4 for 4, 3 doubles. Varsho had the home run in the second inning that put them back at the lead early, which kind of gave the Blue Jays some more command of the game. Huge. You needed a breakout game like this, and yes, it was against the White Sox, but it was against a very good pitcher, and I hope that this is a sign to come for not only the future of the hitters, but the lineup card going forward for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I know it's the White Sox, but how many times over the past couple of years have we seen the Jays get carved up by garbage pitchers? It happens a little bit too often for my liking. And yeah, Eric Fedde was a guy who shoved in the KBO last year in the Korean Baseball League, and he was fantastic. He had a 2 ERA and a 0.95 whip, and that's translated to the big leagues as well. He's been very good to start off this year with the White Sox, and they tagged him today. He did not look good out there. And you got to give the Jays hitters a lot of credit. They were patient. They took what came to them. Vladdy took a couple of walks, even though he's been swinging the bat really well. Danny Jansen, like you said, first appearance in the 2-hole in his career, 5 RBIs, 3 hits. Pro tip to John Schneider, I think I'd keep him there for the foreseeable future. Even if he's not catching, DH him. You got to get the most out of your players right now. And Danny Jansen has been the best offensive threat on this Blue Jays team. You got to keep him in the lineup. I know he's injury prone. I know he's got history of not being able to stay in the lineup, but you got to ride this wave right now. He's got an OPS nearing 1100. He's hitting over 315. You have to ride this wave. You have to keep him in the lineup. And he's been so good. He's not only hitting for average, he's hitting for power. He got a double and a home run today. And the home run pretty much sealed the deal for the Blue Jays. It was getting a little bit dicey there with Genesis Cabrera, but if it wasn't for that 2-run home run to make it 7-3 by Danny Jansen, then maybe we have a little bit more of a sweaty game. And we're talking about Jordan Romano having to come in for the second day in a row. So this was great. It was great to see all the offensive stars on the Jays step it up. And hopefully it's a sign of better things to come. I'd like to see Justin Turner snap that over, but let's not nitpick here. The rest of the lineup really contributed today, and it was awesome to see.
Yeah, I'm not going to put any negatives on this game today. We're going to be taking the positive train from it. Schneider, the leadoff hitter, they got to keep Danny Jansen in the 2-hole. He has an above 1,000 OPS, and when he's been healthy, he's been not only one of the best catching or hitting catchers in baseball, he's been one of the best hitters in baseball, period, which the Jays need because they can't score runs, and they put up a 9-piece today. And one thing I do want to mention is giving some credit to Bichette, who's at times been lazy a little bit. He's been kind of lackadaisical. Today, he did have a bit of a rough out-of-the-box run his first hit. But, Peter, he finished 4 for 4 with 3 doubles. And if Bo Bichette can get his hitting down, we know Vladdy's hitting 400 in May and getting on base a ton. Like, Vladdy's starting to come around. If Bo Bichette can come around and then everyone starts to get healthy, Dalton Varsho continues, like, the offense has the tools to be decent. Maybe not elite, but a decent enough team to where they can fight for a playoff spot with the elite pitching, which we'll get into in a second, and the defense that they have. I told you, I said this to you off camera, like their offense seems, and I said it in the video as well, it seems to be coming around very, very slowly, and this is the first little stretch in a while where it seems like there's some positive signs because Vladdy's actually turning it around, Jansen's healthy, and Bo Bichette is seemingly starting to turn around, even though it was one game and he came in with an 0-fer, but even in the last series he was, I think, 4 for 10 or something, or 3 for 10.
Yeah, well, he's been hitting over 300 in the past week and a half. So yeah, he has started to show signs that he's coming around, and we know that he's very streaky as well. Like his lows are pretty low and like really low. I'm talking about a 600 OPS, but his highs are really high. We all remember that month of September that he had when he willed the Blue Jays to the playoffs, and he's got that kind of capability in him. It's just about being consistent with Bo Bichette, and he's starting to show flashes of consistency. I think him getting 4 hits today means that he's going to start to hit for a 300 clip the rest of the season. That's what kind of hitter that he is. He needs one game like this, one game where he just goes off, and then he starts to figure things out. And yeah, the lineup just, they need to get it going, and they need to keep this going because it is the White Sox. They are in the middle of a playoff race in a sense. You texted it to me. They're 3 games back of a wild card spot now, which is insane to me. Yeah, it's insane to me considering the way that they've been playing. So they're not out of it. I know we have been flip-flopping a little bit and we've been sounding the alarm bells, but yes, I know I didn't say this the other day, but yes, a good 2 weeks can get them back in the mix.
Because other teams are playing horrible too.
Yes. And the Astros are below 500, which is something that we haven't seen in a while. The Texas Rangers don't really look like the Rangers of last year. So, yeah, there's a shot. And if there was ever a time to separate yourself from the pack, it's now because you got the White Sox, you got the Tigers, you got the Pirates, and then the White Sox again. So it's a pretty soft schedule. You're probably going to have to see Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal in there for the White Sox and the Pirates respectively. But still, you got to find ways to not sweep series, but win series going forward because the Jays hadn't won a series in a long time. I think it's 6 in a row, 7 in a row, Nick, now that they haven't won a series. So they got to find a way to at least win this one, but I'm clamoring for the sweep because the White Sox are not good and they're missing their best player in Luis Roberts. So there's no excuses to not win another 2 games against these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you said it there. And shout out to Jose Brios. Bullpen held it down a little bit. Genesis Cabrera, Jimmy Garcia has been the light of the team so far this season. But that'll wrap it up. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. Do you think this is just an overreaction? Do you think the Jays are going to go back to their norms? Or do you think that this is hopefully the team that can continue to get some offense going? Let us know in the comment section down below. If you want to check out a video from yesterday, click on your screen now. We'll see you soon.